Hey guys, T-Man40. I want to do a video over the new red dot that I got for my double star AR-15, and it is the Spark or the sparc. Um, it's not a real expensive red dot. It's around I don't know, 200 bucks I think is what I gave for it, and it's made by Vortex optics. And I can't say enough about this little red dot. I've only put about 1,000 rounds through it since I've had it, and I see a lot of these torture tests people put them through, and no, I've not beat it with a hammer. I've not rented a helicopter and went up 2,000 feet and tossed it out. I've not ran over it with my truck, and I've not let it sit in a bathtub full of water overnight. No, I've not done all that. But what I have done with it, I've not babied it by any means. I have took it off and put it back on. It held 0, and like I said, I've put almost 1,000 rounds through it so far. Since I've had the double star, I've put probably close to 5,000 rounds. And but the thing to keep in mind is I've only had it since February, and I think this is April the 12th. So I've not had it all that long. No, I don't shoot any kind of competition or anything like that. I just like to get out and shoot. Um, and I can't say enough about the double star AR-15. It's a tack driver. It does great. I know some people say, it's a double star. No way I would own it. It's not reliable. You can think what you want. Like I said, 5,000 rounds. I've not had one hiccup out of it. Not one misfire. Nothing. I mean, it's worked perfectly, and I've shot some of the most shittiest ammo that you can find. Wolf, Tula, and WPA Classic, military classic ammo. I mean, just cheap, steel case, non-corrosive, of course, ammunition. And it's just as accurate from the first time I started shooting it until 5,000 rounds later, and it's still a little tack driver. It's the carbine length. No, it's not mil spec. But it's overall a great, dependable, reliable, and just an overall good shooter. But anyway, back to the Vortex optics. This little optic's like 200 bucks. And yes, I know it's not a name point. It's not an EOTech. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to say the quality is as good or the reliability. I don't know. I've only put 1,000 rounds through it, but I will still say no, it's not as good as the Aimpoint or EOTech. I'm not trying to say that. But what I am trying to say is you do not have to spend $600 on an optic for, going out and having some fun shooting. I could buy 3 of these for what I could buy the Aimpoint T1 or H1 for. It's got this is the little rubber seal right here around it. The only flaws that I have on it is the power button, and I also do not like these wires that hold the caps and the turret caps and the battery compartment. I don't like those. I'll probably cut those off, and that's just a personal preference of mine. If I lose them, oh well, but I've not lost any yet, so I'll probably actually wind up taking those off. And as you can see, I've been out shooting today. I went out and put about 500 or 600 rounds in it today alone, and it's very dusty and dirty. And like I said, I've not babied this optic at all. I've not punished it by no means, but I've not babied it, and I have racked round after round as fast as I can shoot. Like I said, I've took it off and I put it back on, and it held 0. I didn't have to re-zero it. And it comes with several different ways of mounting it. You can get absolute co-witness 1/3. You can mount it on AKs. You can mount this little optic on everything. Unlike the Aimpoint, if you just buy the optic, you've also got to buy a mount. So if you buy something like LaRue or Daniel Defense, along those lines, you know, you're up around $600, $650. And that's just too much money for me to spend. You know, I got the rifle for $700. Of course, you know, I added all the Magpul stuff to it, but by doing that, I was able to add the Magpul to get me a decent optic. And I've had, you know, quite a few optics and quite a few rifles, and I cannot say enough about Double Star. They're great. And the optic, it weighs like 5.8 ounces, I think, and it's similar, you know, to the T1. I think the T1's 3.5 or something like that. These right here are your brightness intensity. It's also got night vision, and this is your on and off switch here. Of course, these are your turrets here, and this over here is your battery compartment. I don't know why they didn't do the battery compartment like on the T1. That's a thing I would kind of like, to where you just turn the knob instead of this is more along the lines of the EOTech. It's kind of like if you made an EOTech and an aim point and put them together, this is kind of what you'd come out with. You know, and like I said, I'm not trying to say that the quality is the same. I'm not saying that. But for $200, you can't go wrong. I promise you, you'll be pleased with it. I would recommend this little optic to anybody. It's overall, it's done great. It's got like 10 settings for brightness, and it's got the night vision, 2 settings. It's got a little magnifier that screws in there. I'm not big on it, but just as far as it goes, like it sits right here, it's a great optic. Vortex sparc. If you're thinking about one, I would recommend them all day. You won't be disappointed, trust me. And as of now, that's it. You guys have a good one.